Right now, at the absolute peak of the season, the fields at Gracia Group are moving at maximum capacity. Thousands of workers are pulling crops from the earth in a highly coordinated frenzy. They are fighting a relentless biological ticking clock. Every single crop has an exact window of peak ripeness. Miss it by even a fraction of a day, and the produce starts breaking down before it even leaves the stem. Because of this strict timing, the harvest teams have a rigid operational mandate. They cannot slow down, and they absolutely cannot pause. If they stop picking, the food rots right there in the dirt. That means the daily intake of fresh produce into the supply chain isn't a variable they can control. It is a massive, unstoppable forward force. All of that freshly harvested output is immediately rushed away from the open sun and shoved indoors into cold storage holding zones. Almost instantly, the vast, sprawling scale of the outdoor farms is compressed. A relentless wave of incoming inventory is forced into a highly restricted physical footprint. During peak season, these facilities function as high-pressure transit hubs. The sheer volume of incoming food pushes the limits of the logistics pipeline, turning cold storage into a critical bottleneck. On the other side of those warehouse doors are the outbound delivery coordinators. Their reality is dictated by rigid constraints. They have set delivery slots, unavoidable traffic delays, and a fixed number of trucks. When the unstoppable biological harvest collides with those fixed logistics, a daily mathematical failure occurs. This schematic visualizes the daily mismatch. Exactly 100 units of perishable produce enter the central warehouse. Gracia's fixed fleet can only carry out 70 units. This leaves 30 units physically stranded behind the loading dock every single day. 30 units today, 30 more tomorrow. This gap creates a compounding backlog that rapidly consumes every inch of available space. As that backlog grows, those stranded units sit trapped in the cold chain. The warehouse transforms from an organized transit hub into a congested maze. Staff are forced to react, rushing to stack crates improperly just to clear floor space for the harvest that keeps arriving. Waiting time is the primary driver of spoilage. Even with modern cooling, the duration produce spends on the floor causes it to break down. While the clock ticks, pallets of fresh vegetables are repeatedly shuffled around to manage the overcrowding. The constant crush of heavy inventory leads directly to crushed produce. Spoilage sets in right on the loading dock. Leafy greens wilt, tomatoes overripen, and significant financial value burns away inside dark storage bins before the products ever reach a truck. The harvest succeeded. The failure is entirely operational. Idle time is destroying the product's value. To fix this, Gracia Group needs a way to move inventory out as fast as it comes in. They need a flexible, shared delivery coordination system. This system connects the incoming harvest volumes directly to the outbound transport schedules, constantly monitoring the exact capacity of the warehouse. Here is how it runs. As the daily harvest pours in, this capacity gauge tracks the floor space. The exact moment the facility hits 80% full, an automated operational trigger is flipped. Instead of waiting for Gracia's fixed fleet to return, the system bypasses them entirely. It broadcasts an overflow request to a localized network of external transport partners. Temporary refrigerated vans, local contractors, and seasonal drivers are activated on demand. They converge on the docks and immediately flush the stranded units out of the facility. It acts as an elastic valve. It provides immediate surge capacity to eliminate the waiting time before spoilage can even begin. The obvious question is, why not just purchase more trucks to handle the peak harvest volume? Expanding a permanent logistics fleet requires massive upfront capital, full-time salaries, and year-round maintenance for trucks that will sit completely empty the moment the harvest slows down. This chart compares the two models. The solid line shows the high, permanent expense of owning extra trucks. The sharp spikes show the flexible network, where the company only pays for extra delivery capacity during the exact weeks the bottleneck occurs. When we weigh that targeted seasonal transport cost against the alternative, throwing away pallets of rotting inventory, the temporary network is significantly cheaper. The harvest supervisor keeps pulling crops, the warehouse coordinator clears floor space, and delivery drivers stay on schedule without fighting an insurmountable backlog. Implementing flexible logistics clears the loading dock and protects the company's bottom line. In a high-volume harvest, this surge capacity is an economic necessity.